Imagine being at the lowest point of your life, struggling to make ends meet, and even having to beg on the street for food, and the whole world looks down on you. And now, imagine the satisfaction of being a part of the working world. But not only that, being at the top as an entrepreneur of your own business. It would feel pretty good, right? This is the story of Khalil Rafati, current owner of the juice bar Sun Life Organics. But his life wasn't always like this. Rafati was born in 1976 and raised in Toledo, Ohio, and had moved to Los Angeles in the 1990s with a successful career. He had been working with the top stars in Hollywood, from the hottest movie stars to the most legendary rock musicians, and even played in his own band. Khalil seemingly had it all. However, the fame of Hollywood had gotten to him, and he started to experiment in the worst of the movie industry: drugs. He dealt a little bit of weed on the side and managed to stay out of trouble, but he couldn't keep up this for long. The combination of Khalil's highly addictive personality with the use of heroin caused him to simply let go of all reason, stopped caring what happened to him in his everyday life. He had gotten a newfound fear of boredom and was scared that if he stopped taking the drink and the drugs, life would be boring. A sad reality a lot of modern people live through. He had gotten carried away and had become unhinged, even trying to kill himself after an argument with a girlfriend. He had injected every drug he owned into his bloodstream, hoping to die and carry on this mentality he had possessed until now. Before Khalil knew, he was left outside a gas station begging for spare change for his next hit of heroin. His life had hit rock bottom, and he became one of the beggars in Skid Row, one of California's streets with the highest homeless population, and was forced to always move to attract more people in charity so they can fuel his next hit of heroin. But against all odds and any reason, Khalil Rafati survived the life of a rough sleeper with danger around every corner. He had no choice, and he knew he couldn't keep living like this, and had resorted to the next best thing: trying to go clean. Obviously, after years of suffering, Khalil knew that leaving to a better situation was a difficult process. Because when you're at the bottom, there's no place to go but up. He decided to get sober, drop all the cocaine and heroin, and start fresh. But at this point, he was still on a pack of cigarettes a day, and on energy drinks and coffee for his daily energy. But how could he get out of that life of dependency, when one of his friends had shown him the benefits to what would become his future brand, and the thing to save him from poverty? Khalil Rafati had started to use juicing and superfoods in his daily life. In a few short years, Khalil had gone from a starving drug addict to a multi-millionaire. But you might be left wondering, how did he get there? In 2003, Khalil had been at his lowest point ever. His mother had diagnosed with cancer and he couldn't do anything to support her, and he describes the moment that changed his life forever as him going to cry his eyes out, to scream and curse the world that kicked him all those times, when he realized the lesson everyone needed to learn: to let go of their victim mindsets. Looking back at Khalil's life, it's easy to see how a lot of trouble could have been avoided, and Khalil realized that there is no one else to blame but himself. Khalil had sworn to make a change after this, to achieve his mother's dream, to visit her home country of Poland, and even put a payment on her house, to show his devotion as a son, to show how thankful he is for the woman who carried him and sacrificed her life so he could live out his dreams. Khalil worked 4 jobs day and night and did everything he could to make it happen. But how does juice come into it? These juices and natural organic products had changed his life forever, a real healthy fuel for the body compared to the other sort of garbage going in. This juice was just what an addicted, down-on-his-luck Khalil needed. It gave him a new passion for life, a newfound energy which gave him his new iconic lust for life. Khalil was never the same. He had found his way off the streets with his head clear. He had a vision of greatness and wanted to help others struggling like he once did. He set into his kitchen in 2007 and began to master the art of juicing, combination after combination and mixture after mixture. He finally began to form his own recipe, and this began Khalil's journey across the world for all the possible mixtures. He traveled India and Central America to the States, learning about medicine from the most simple forms as grandmother's recipes or professional advice, and it all led to the same basis: to eat your fruits and vegetables. With all of this in mind, Khalil had all he needed to start his juice empire. In the summer of 2011, Khalil and his business partner Haley Gorsey started Sun Life Organics, a store in Malibu, California. This propelled Khalil's lifestyle even further, and he had now become a fully fledged addict. But an addict in a good way, in fact. Khalil was now addicted to his healthy way of life. His mindset had changed, and his days were happier. His mother's cancer was cured, and he found a real appreciation to life as a different person to the man he was so many years ago. He wanted to push life to the next level, and give all of his customers a way to true nourishment, whatever that meant. He had created a space for organic smoothies, juices, drinks, and anything organic really. And even more drastically, he created a place without distractions, where human interaction was at the top for entertainment. He had done the unthinkable. He had banned the use of social networks, phones, and iPads. And Khalil was so determined to help the world that wronged him that he started to hire younger people looking for work in the local area to get them away from the same life he had suffered through. Khalil Rafati was finally at the top. He was running a juice bar with his now partner Haley in the Hollywood Hills with celebrities visiting, and there was still nowhere to go but up. So how does this millionaire go up from here? By writing a book, of course. In 2015, Khalil wrote I Forgot to Die, in which he describes his journey, his downfall, and how he survived amongst the lowest parts of society, to how changing his lifestyle and changing his mentality stopped his downfall. He even discusses his rough upbringing and the difficulty of being born in a multicultural house, and even his dad's disappearance, and how hard it is to live without a real role model. He tries to reach the less lucky audiences and inspire the poor as a seemingly overnight millionaire. Khalil's business even took after his appreciation and love for all life. Pink Lotus logo shows how strong he is as a person, as it shows he can have his perfect life as a millionaire now without living the hardship. He thanks God for all of his blessings to him and his family. Khalil Rafati has shown throughout his life a real resolve and ability to make do in any situation, from starving on Skid Row amongst the lowest of the low to helping the needy in his juice bar. So popular in the community to even be visited by the most famous celebrities who share Khalil's newfound woke attitude, such as Jaden Smith, who lives his life as an activist among all of society's hardships. If there's one thing we should learn from the juice bar millionaire Khalil Rafati, it's to never give up during hardship, and to give up our victim mindset, embracing our millionaire mindset, and to be appreciative to those who treat us well. Then maybe we could all experience a little part of the blessing he is living every day, both physically and emotionally.